Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Professor David as the head of SIGAN Research Group. The Honorable Mr. Rido Alfarisi as chairman of this joint workshop. The Honorable Mr. Venka, Mrs. Mohana, Mrs. Arika, and Mrs. Ika as speakers today, and all participants in this joint workshop. First of all, let us pray and praise to our God. Because of His grace and mercy, we can come together without any obstacle here, with healthy condition in this virtual joint workshop between University of Jember, Indonesia, and Kongunadu Arts and College, India. Second, let us greet and pray to our beloved Prophet, who had brought us to the path of light and left the darkness in this life. Ladies and gentlemen, on this next occasion, let me deliver the structure of the event today as follows. First, the speech for Mr. Rido Alfarisi as chairman of this joint workshop. Second, the general lecture, which will be moderated by Mrs. Rabiatul and Mrs. Rafiantika. And the last is closing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's open this event by saying Basmala. Now, we invite Mr. Rido Alfarisi to give a short speech. To Mr. Rido Alfarisi, time is yours.
Brothers, maybe in India, good morning, sir, Mr. Venka, Mohana Priya, and my friends in India. The Honorable Professor David as the head of SIGAN Research Group and keynote speaker in this joint workshop, and the Honorable Dr. M. Venkatachalam and Dr. Mohana Priya as keynote speakers in this workshop, and the Honorable Dr. Ari Indah Kristiana and Mrs. Ika Hesti Agustin as invited speaker from University of Jember. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much for opportunity given to me, and I also would like to give my biggest gratitude of all participants who have joined this workshop, and thank you for the organizing committee of this workshop, which I'm proud of you. Before I say something of this greeting, I would like to say thank you for the MC that has given to me a time to welcome as chairman of joint workshop graph theory. Okay, this event has a purpose to develop graph theory and applications. This is not only research in pure area or pure research in mathematics, but also we can create the application of this topic to other topics, maybe biology, physics, chemistry, and social science, maybe. And on the other hand, we do hope that we can collaborate with Kongunadu Arts Science and Science College from India for the joint research with me, with us, and with our organization, institution, University of Jember, and hopefully we can publish the collaboration research result in reputable international journal indexed by Scopus, Web of Science, and others indexing journals. So on behalf of the committee, I would like to say, please enjoy this workshop. We have already tried our best and try to be professional, but as a human being, of course, we have a mistake. Please let me declare our deepest apologize if there is mistake during this workshop. So thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. Sorry for just joining this Zoom meeting. Okay,
Yes,
just finish the point. Yeah.
Yes, no problem, Prof. David. Melissa, please active your microphone. Please check your microphone, Melissa. Yes, okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rido. And then the next one is speech from Professor David, as well as opening this event and leading the prayer. To Professor David, time is yours.
Thanks, Melissa. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to welcome all of you to our joint workshop between the University of Jember, especially the research group of SIGAN and Kongunadu College and Art, Tamil Nadu, India. The Honorable Dr. Venkata Chalam. So, do you hear me, Venkata? Honorable Gumati, Honorable Mohana Priya.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Where is your video?
Yes, sir, as I'm very fine. Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
I believe everybody here want to see you in video mode as well. So I just apology to request all the participants to active the video such that we can discuss interactively. Today is the first joint workshop between Indonesia and India after a long process of cooperation. I just remember that at the beginning, it was at 2018 probably, the cooperation between India and Indonesia was started, initiated by having a joint research, a joint paper, which was submitted into Ars Combinatory Journal. Rika, as well as me as co-author, Venkat, and also some other colleges from India. At that time also, we talked with Venkat to improve our cooperation, to strengthen our joint research. In such a way, we visit each other. At the first time, Venkat visit me. At the second ICC GAN, and after that, at the beginning of, at the end of 2019, I visited them in India with also my colleagues. And today, the remarkable idea arising from Mohana to start with our collaboration in the 2020 to have a joint workshop between Indonesia and India, especially in combinatorics research of interest. And now we release this workshop, and hopefully this workshop benefiting to all of you, especially for the students who are joining the session, and also for the new students who are pursuing the research process in the future. And also I invite some my ex-students. I see here Putu Liana Wardani, and also Justinos, and they are all our students who already finished their study and they already got a master. So please enjoy this workshop, and hopefully this workshop benefit to all of you. And this workshop only limited to special participant, especially who are what interesting in research group and research interest of combinatorics. We see in this screen, we have 25 participants. And I see some from Indonesia and some other from from India. I see Aparna and also Kruatika, Barani, and Gumati, Nandini, and Rohini, and Gauri, and Venkat as well. And Venkat just sent me a message that they will join a little bit later because he has a meeting as well in the same time. So thank you, and I declare this joint workshop formally open for all of you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Davi. And then, ladies and gentlemen, now we come into the main point, that is joint workshop between Kongunadu Arts and College India and University of Jember, Indonesia. And the theme are aerodynamic, irregularity, rainbow anti-magic, and local anti-magic coloring, which will be moderated by Mrs. Rabiatul Adawiyah and Mrs. Rafiantika Megahnia Prihandini. To Mrs. Rafiantika, time is yours.
Shall I start now?
Okay. Okay. I am Rabiatul Adawiyah. First, I will be the first moderator of this session. Okay. Thank you very much for the Master of Ceremony, the Honorable Professor Davik, Mr. Venka, Gomati, Mohana Priya, Mrs. Erika, and also Mrs. Ika. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Rabiatul Adawiyah. Together with my friends Rafiantika Megahnia Prihandini will be the moderator of this program. I am very pleased to see you and welcome all of you to this joint workshop between University of Jember and Kongunadu Art and Science College. I do hope that all of us are in a good condition and always stay safe during this COVID-19 pandemic disease. We hope that our spirit to get a new knowledge is not decreased, and we must sure that we can fight and win against the world pandemic disease COVID-19. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, actually we will have 5 speakers here, but we divided this workshop into 2 sessions. In the first session, I will be the moderator, and the second session, Mrs. Rafiantika will be the moderator. Before we go on to the presentation, I will read the regulation. We will have about 30 minutes for presentation from the invited speakers and also 30 minutes for discussion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the first session, we will have Mr. Venkata and Mrs. Mohana Priya. The first speaker will be delivered by Mr. Venkata Chalam. But before we come to the presentation, let me introduce and read the CV from Mr. Venkat, because I'm sure that not all of the participants here know about Mr. Venkat. Okay. Dr. M. Venkata Chalam is a lecturer in the Department of Mathematics, Kongunadu Art and Science College. He got the PhD degree from Anna University, Chennai. His research interest is graph theory, especially in graph coloring. Okay, please welcome Mr. Venkata Chalam with his presentation entitled Mean and Variant of Graphs Coloring. For Mr. Venka, time is yours.
Very good morning to one and all present with this workshop. First, I would like to thank our management of Kongunadu Arts and Science College, President Dr. M. Maruchami sir, Secretary and Director Dr. C. A. Vasagi Madam, Principal Dr. M. Lachamanasamy sir, and Dean Research and Development Dr. S. Balasamy sir, and Dr. Madan Sangar, Dean Academics, and my head of the department, Dr. V. Kogilavani, and my colleagues and my research scholars. A very good morning to one and all. And especially I thank the authorities of University of Jember, Indonesia, and I thank personally Dr. Professor Defik, Dean in Faculty of Education, University of Jember, Indonesia, and other friends, Ika, Rito, and others. First, I thank Professor Defik for organizing this wonderful workshop. Definitely, it will be useful to our scholars, students, and faculty members. And today, I would like to speak something differently. Since we are all working in colorings and labelings, and some scholars are working on colorings, and some scholars are working in labelings in University of Jember. And today, I am going to speak about probability mass functions and mean and variance for the graph coloring. The same concept may be defined in the graph labeling also. This is a open problem, and the probability mass function, mean and variance, this is a very new concept and defined by some author Sudo in India and other Professor Johan Koch in South Africa. And they defined and simply calculated the probability mass functions, mean and variation for the different coloring of some types of graphs like equitable coloring, J coloring, and B chromatic, and published in very good journal by World Scientific Discrete Mathematics Algorithms and Applications. And the same concept, we are all working and taking the results in the graph coloring, and we can also implement, we can also find the probability mass function, mean and variation for our results. We have a lot of results already we have taken and we have published the papers. We can find the probability mass function, mean and variation for our old results also. Then we can produce productive papers, and the same papers definitely will be published in the very reputed Scopus indexed journals like Discrete Mathematics and Algorithms and Applications by World Scientific, and other reputed Scopus index journals in Springer and elsewhere, and Taylor and Francis, etc. Now, shall I present my PPT? Shall I present my PPT?
Yes, yes, please. Yes, please. Can Anis, can Venkat access? Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Whether my PPT is opened? Can you see
Yes,
my
yes.
PPT?
Yes, yes.
Can see it.
Today my topic entitled Mean and Variance of Graph Colorings. That is a very simple one, but it is new. The first concept, due to the time constraint and due to this online workshop, I have omitted the literature and preliminaries and other ideas. But I have given the references, and also I will send the references in our India-Indonesia group, SIGAN group. You can able to find the literatures and other basic results. So directly I am going to read the basic, main concept, probability mass functions. Let the set capital C, which is consisting of the colors C1, C2, etc. Ck. For any graph G, we are using the colors K number of colors, that is the color C1, C2, C3, etc. Ck. And these colors are for using the proper K coloring. We are using K colors for proper K coloring of any graph G, and let capital X be the random variable which denotes the number of vertices in G having a particular color. Since the sum of all weights of colors of G is the order of G. The order of G means the number of vertices of G. The real valued function f of I defined by f of I equal to theta of Ci divided by, that is order of a graph G, that is mod V of G. For I varies from 1 to K, 0 otherwise. is the probability mass functions. We taking PMF. There's a definition from the reference number 1 of the random variable X. If the context is clear, we can also say that f of I is the probability mass function of the graph G with respect to the given coloring C. The numerator theta of Ci is the number of vertices assigned the color Ci. For example, I equal to 1 means number of vertices assigned the color by 1. Theta of C2 means number of vertices assigned the color C2. Similarly, the number of theta of C3 means number of vertices assigned the color C3. That is the numerator. Denominator is the total number of vertices. That is the order of G. That is mod V of G. So if we use C1, C2, etc., Ck number of colors, we can find theta of C1, theta of C2, theta of C3, etc., theta of Ck. Okay. So for each and every color, that is f of I, that is we can find f of C1, f of C2, f of C3, etc., and we can find up to f of Ck. Okay. Now I am going to see the concept of mean of graph labeling. The same author defined the mean of graph coloring. Let capital C equal to C1, C2, etc., Ck be a certain type of proper K coloring of a given graph G, and theta of Ci denotes the number of times a particular color Ci. That is, number of times you are used C1, number of times you used C2, and number of times you used C3, etc. Number of times you used Ck assigned to the vertices of G. Then the coloring mean of a coloring C of a given graph G denoted by nu C of G is defined in the reference number 1 as nu, that is mean of G, that is mean graph coloring mean. Graph coloring mean of G equal to summation I varies from 1 to K, that is I into theta of Ci divided by summation I equal to 1 to K into theta of Ci. In the numerator, if you use K times, that is K number of colors, so the I varies from I equal to 1, I equal to 2, etc. So the first term in the summation 1 into theta of C1, that is number of times, number of vertices assigned the color C1, that is theta of C1 into 1 plus summation means addition plus 2 into theta of C2, that is number of vertices assigned the color C2, that is theta of C2, that is 2 into theta of C2 plus I equal to 3. 3 into theta of C3, that is number of vertices assigned the color 3, that is 3 into theta of C3 plus I equal to 4. 4 into theta into C4, that is number of vertices assigned the color C4, that is theta of C4 plus etc. The finally plus etc. K into theta into Ck, that is number of vertices assigned the color Ck. Normally we are assigned the colors by natural numbers, that is 1, 2, 3, etc. Here C1 means you can use 1, C2 means the color 2, C3 means color 3. In general definition we are using C1, C2, C3, etc. Ck. In the denominator you can add all the theta of C1 plus theta of C2 plus etc. theta of Ck. That is number of times assigned, the number of vertices assigned the color by C1 plus number of vertices assigned by the color C2 plus number of vertices assigned the color C3 plus etc. number of vertices assigned the color by C4. So this formula is nothing but mean of a graph coloring, that is coloring mean. Sometimes we know we read coloring mean of a coloring C. Similarly, next concept, variance of graph coloring. The coloring variance of a coloring C. C means the set of all colors C1, C2, C3, etc. Ck of a given graph G denoted by sigma C square is defined in the same author than the reference number 1. The which is equal to the coloring variance, which is equal to the numerator summation I varies from 1 to K I square In the mean, we are using I. Here, we are using I square divided by summation I varies from 1 to k into theta of Ci. The same mean formula. Here, instead of I in the numerator, we are using I square. So, first start with I equal to 1. That is 1 square is 1. 1 into theta of C1. That is 1 into number of vertices assigned the color C1 plus I equal to 2. 2 square, that is 4. 4 into number of vertices assigned the color by C2 plus 3 square, that is I equal to 3. 9 into number of vertices assigned the color 3 plus etc. K square into theta of Ck, that is number of vertices assigned the color Ck divided by, just add theta of C1 plus theta of C2 plus theta of C3 etc. theta of Ck, that is number of times number of vertices, number of times used color 1 C1 plus number of times the color C2 used plus number of times color C3 used plus etc. number of times the color Ck used minus mean square. This is the formula for variance of graph coloring. So these three concepts, probability mass function, mean of a graph coloring, and variance of graph coloring, these three formulas can be applied into various types of chromatic numbers of a particular graph or general graph or graph products or corona product, subdivision edge corona product, and miscellaneous graphs or etc. We can apply. This is the still open problems. Still, this is a new area. We can apply and we can get the new results. And whenever we're using the graph theory in some other subject like this statistics concept, probability mass functions, mean, variance, that definitely the good journals will accept. That is same, instead of pure graph colorings, we are mixing with PMF, mean, variance. For example, for easy understanding these concepts, here I draw one graph with the example, and definitely you will understand. Here I have I considered the bi-star graph B M comma N. So this is the graph. The left side you are using the M number of vertices, and the right side you are using the N number of vertices. So now I assigned the proper coloring. Since this is a tree, so for any tree we know that it is obvious that we need only two colors. So I assigned the colors 1 for all the M number of vertices, and I assigned the colors 2 for all the N number of vertices, and a path we need two colors, that is 1 and 2. So can you able to see the graph? Anybody? Whether the graph is clear?
Yes, it's clear, sir.
Fine.
Okay. So this is the, I have assigned just proper coloring. Here for this graph, we have to calculate the probability mass functions, mean and variance as per the formula defined already. So first we are calculating the f of I, that is a probability mass function. That is, here I varies from only 1 and 2. Since here we used only two colors, that is 1 and 2. So we can calculate only f of 1 and f of 2. Okay, so f of 1 means what is the formula for f of I? Just I am going to the, again I recollect the formula. F of I equal to, the numerator is theta of Ci, that is number of times color C1 used, number of times color C1 used divided by total number of vertices, that is the order of G. So here f of 1 means number of times the color 1 used. Anyone can say? Here, how many times we used the color 1 in this graph?
N plus
Anybody?
1 times.
M plus 1 times. In the left side, we are using M times. That is a M number of vertices using the color 1. And in the right side here, see here we can use 1. So totally M plus 1 times we have used the color 1, that is divided by, what is the formula in the denominator? That is the order of the graph, that is mod V of G, that is total number of vertices. Here, what is the total number of vertices? The left side M number of vertices, right side N number of vertices, plus 2 vertices are there. That is the bridge between the two star graphs. So the totally M plus N plus 2. So this is the probability mass function for f of 1. Similarly, we can calculate the probability Morse function for f of 2, that is number of times the color 2 used. How many times we used the color 2?
n plus 1 times.
N plus 1 times. The right side we are using the n number of vertices, so we used the 2 for n times, and in the left side we are using the color 1 time 2, so the totally n plus 1 divided by the same total number of vertices, that is the size of the graph, that is m plus n plus 2. So f of 1 equal to m plus 1 by m plus n plus 2, f of 2 equal to n plus 1 by m plus n plus 2. Okay, so this is PMF. Next, we are going to find the mean of this bi-star graph, that is b m comma n. Finally, we will see the variance of the bi-star graph. The formula for mean, again I am going back. The formula is, the numerator is summation I varies from 1 to k I into theta into ci. So for that I just calculate I into f of I. Okay, I into f of I. Since the numerator we are using the only f of I, since f of I means theta of ci divided by mod v of g. So here I am using I into f of I. I varies from here 1 to 2, since here only used 2 colors. So I equal to 1 into f of I. Already we have calculated f of I. So m plus 1 divided by m plus n plus 2. So I have used here, and plus 2 into, just I used that is f of 2, that is f of 2 is n plus 1 by m plus n plus 2, that is 2 into n plus 1 by m plus n plus 2. Therefore simplifying, we get take LCM and simplify, we will get, finally we get m plus 2n plus 3 whole divided by m plus n plus 2. So this is the mean of the bi-star graph b m comma n. Similarly, we are going to see the variance. Variance means, here we have to, instead of I we have to use I square. So here we for I we have only 2 values, so that is 1 and 2. That is I square means first 1 square into f of I, that is f of 1. Already we know f of 1 is m plus 1 by m plus n plus 2, plus that is I equal to 2, that is I square 2 square into already f of 2, already we know f of 2, that is f of 2 is n plus 1 by m plus n plus 2. Once again you can see, that is f of 1 is m plus 1 by m plus n plus 2, and f of 2 I equal to 2 means n plus 1 by m plus n plus 2. Okay, minus mean square. Mean already we have calculated the mean, that is m plus 2n plus 3 whole divided by m plus n plus 2 whole square. After simplifying, you will get the variance, that is variance of the by star graph, that is m plus n plus mn plus 1 divided by whole divided by m plus n plus 2 whole square. Here for bi star graph, simply we calculated the proper coloring, that is chromatic number, that is 2. Since bi star graph is also a tree, that is 2. So the same results you can this is a only chromatic number. The same bi star graph, if you assign some other types of colorings like harmonious coloring, achromatic coloring, equitable coloring, B coloring, or dynamic coloring, and we have been studying many types of colorings, and we can apply, we can find many types of chromatic numbers for the same bi-star graph. After getting this, we have one, first we must know and how many number of times the color 1 used and how many number of times the color 2 used. For example, in general, if you use a k number of colors, and each and every color you must note that how many number of times the color 1 we used. For example, equitable coloring, we are always check whether how many times the particular color used. Since the condition is the according to the color class, norm vi minus vj less than or equal to 1. Likewise, there is the similar concept here, and each and every color we must calculate how many number of times used. If you know these details and already have taken the results and the proof, we can simply identify how many times we have used the colors, and we can apply the formulas, probability mass function and mean and variance by citing the proper reference, and we can apply these formulas and we can calculate the same concepts for our own results and frame the papers. Already we have in the literature, I have all the full papers of these concepts, and I will definitely I will send you in the WhatsApp group. These are all the references. The author N.K. Sudo, he is from Kerala in nearby Tamil Nadu in India, and Chitra also the Kerala, and Sadish also Kerala, and Johan Koch, he is from nice graph theory man and from South Africa. They first defined the concepts only in the 2 years back, 2018, and the same first paper is on certain colorings parameters of graph. They are defined actually the PM probability mass functions, mean and variance. In some papers also the probability distributions and moment also there, and the literature I will find and I will tell you I will let you know the formulas and the other literatures. The same paper in the 2008 published in the journal International Journal of Mathematical Combinatorics, and in this paper we can say find the basic results, the chromatic number of any path Pn and the chromatic number of any cycle Cn and the chromatic number of any complete graph and bipartite graph, and for that results and what are all the probability mass functions and mean and variance. In the second paper, the same authors and the same concept implemented to the equitable coloring of graphs. These paper actually the first paper only created first, but it will publish 2018 since the journal taken more time, and the second paper quickly published in the journal Discrete Mathematics, Algorithms and Applications, the journal from World Scientific. It is a Scopus indexed journal. And the third paper actually they implement the concept of probability mass function, mean and variation for injective coloring parameters of certain graphs. The same ideas and formulas were applied for, only the coloring is different, injective coloring. And the same paper has been published in the year 2016, Discrete Mathematics, Algorithms and Applications. And another paper, the same authors, and certain coloring parameters of Mikulski graphs of some graphs, and the same paper, the same ideas, probability mass functions, mean and variation, the published in the same journal in the 2018, Discrete Mathematics, Algorithms and Applications. And also they also use the concept of probability mass functions, mean and variance for J coloring. They particularly defined on coloring, J coloring. That paper also published in the Discrete Mathematics, Algorithms. And I didn't give the reference in here, but you can find it in the Google. Okay, so now we can simply we can calculate what is the mean and variance for the complete graph Kn. For complete graph Kn, there are n vertices having the different colors. Since complete graph, each and every vertice is adjacent to all other vertices, so we must use only n number of colors, and each and every color we use at most only one time. So if we use only the one time, so f of I we can simply calculate for f of 1 means how many number of times we use to color 1 by total number of vertices n into what is the total number of vertices in a complete graph? Anybody can say? N. That is f of 1 means 1 by n. Similarly, the color 2, we use the complete graph for by proper coloring. We will use at most one time. That is f of 2 means 1 by 2, f of 3 means 1 by 3, etc. For complete graph Kn, the result is obvious. F of 1 means 1 by n, f of 2 means 1 by 2, f of 3 means 1 by 3, etc. Similarly, we can calculate by using f of I, and we can apply the formula for mean and variance. We can simply calculate Kn for proper coloring. The same concepts we can if you say take a middle graph, central graph, total graph, or any other graph operators, after taking the graph operators of the particular graph or general graph, after taking the results, you must know the number of times the particular colors used, and we can apply the probability mass function, mean and variance, and we can easily get the results. Hope these concepts will be easily understandable. I hope all the participants are understand this concept. Thank you very much for me. Thank you very much to the Dr. Defik for providing me the opportunity to discuss something here. Thank you.
Okay, Thank you very much for Mr. Venkat. Since Mr. Venkat have some official meeting to attend, can we go on to the discussion time, Mr. Venkat?
Yes, yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Okay, any question about mean and variant of graph coloring from the audience?
Venkat, could you
Yes,
share
yes.
your PDF in our group? Actually, I have already your presentation. Can we share to our group?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I will send all the full papers of the references.
Okay. It is very interesting. Then
Yes, yes.
my student can also study and start to do research in this
Yes.
research of interest. Thank you very much. Very nice
Thank,
talk, Venkat. Yeah.
thank you, thank you.
Can I asking?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. This
Faisal.
for Mr. Faisal.
Good morning and good for in India and good good afternoon, yeah. good noon in Indonesia. My questions about this topic is I have seen that your parameter is depends on the coloring of graphs. So
Yeah.
if I see, we first color the graph, and so that we can get the chromatic number and also the number of vertices, how many times colors is assigned in the vertices. So I think this parameter such variance, mean and etc. is not unique. Because why? Because I think when we color the graph, it is not unique. For example, if we in graph coloring, maybe we can have the same chromatic number, but the number of color, let's say number 1 in coloring, the first coloring, we can say, let's say 5 times we assign to the graph, but in the other coloring with the same chromatic number, it is possible to maybe say the number of color 1 is used by 4 times. So the implication is the value of means and variance, the parameters that you have said before, is not the same for one graph. I think so. How can you think about this situation? Thank you.
Thank you very much for Faisal for asking the nice question. For some graphs, we can the mean and the variance of PMF will be the same. For example, for path, for path with n is even number, we must use only the 2 colors, and the 2 colors are exactly we use the that is a unique, well defined. Anyone can use the one for n times and another 2 for n times. Here the probability mass function and mean variance will be the same. For any complete graph, the each and there is well defined, and each and every color we use at most 1 time. Here also the probability mass function and mean and variance are the same. In some situations, in some types of graphs, it will vary by person to person. In that situation, the mean and variance will be the different for their graph construction and by graph assignment of the colors.
Maybe the interesting thing is to find the minimum maybe mean.
Yeah. Only now the subject arised in the literature, and maybe in the later on in the literature we will define the bounds and other things.
Yes. Okay. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Faisal. Any other question from the audience? Okay, because there is no question, maybe we can continue the discussion in the WhatsApp application. And for Mr. Venka, please, you can continue your work, and then we can go on to the next speakers. Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Venka.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we go on to the second speakers of this workshop, which will be delivered by Mrs. Mohana Priya. Same as Mr. Venkat, she is a lecturer in the Kongunadu Art and Science College. Her research interests also in a graph theory, especially about the graph coloring and also domination. And she got the PhD degree from the Bharatiyar University. Okay, for Mrs. Mohana Priya, time is yours.
Thank you so much. So today I'm not going to present any slides, just I'm going to share one of the proving technique which we are using for coloring. So first and foremost, I would like to thank the Professor Dafik sir for conducting this joint workshop between the University of Jember and Kongunadu Arts and Science College. Thank you, Professor. And also, I would like to thank all the teams of University of Jember for their energetic research work they are doing in their university. So I think this type of workshop will make every research scholars as one of the motivation for their further process. So first, and I would like to thank my management, President Sir, Dr. M. R. Shami sir, and Secretary and Director Dr. V.C. Vasagi ma'am, and our beloved Principal Dr. M. Lakshman Swami sir, and Dean Academics and Dean R&D for providing a very good platform for our research. So now I'm going to share the proving technique, one of the proving technique which I have used in my work, along with Johan Cook, one of my co-author. We have used that technique, heuristic approach. So the technique is heuristic approach. The heuristic or the problem-solving method that used shortcuts to produce good enough solution given a limited time frame. In limited time frame, we can find the solution for so this is a flexibility technique for quick decisions, particularly when working with complex data. So for complex data, so we are using this technique. So the decision makes using an heuristic approach may not necessarily be an optimal. So I would like to give a step-by-step method. Here in our work, we have given the chromatic number of cycles. For that, we have used the heuristic approach method. So now I'm going to give a lecture on heuristic approach to chromatic coloring of some cycle related graphs. So I'm considering a cycle Cn, so which is a closed path by merging two vertices V1 and Vn plus 1. So of the path.
Excuse me, Mohana. Do you
Yes.
have any material to share?
Sir, Professor, I will share the material after finishing my lecture. I will share to you privately.
Oh, okay.
Surely I will share my papers also for your reference. So after the session, I will share you.
Okay. No problem.
No problem. Thank you. So for time being, I was giving only the lecture. So thank you, Professor. So I'm considering a cycle Cn, which is a closed path by merging two n vertices V1 and Vn plus 1 from the path Pn plus 1. So this basic operation of merging the two vertices to obtain a graph within a distinct different graph structural class. So that graph structural class of the origin graph, so which we are going to study in respect of coloring. So here I'm going to give one heuristic approach, step by step I'm like to give. So in first step, I'm going to consider the path Pn plus 1. So next, finding the chromatic number for the path Pn plus 1. What is the chromatic number for path Pn plus 1? I think the chromatic number for path Pn plus 1. Anyone? Anyone tell, can you tell me the chromatic number? Some of the students are working in coloring. So the chromatic number of the path, 2. So that is an alternative sequence. So chromatic number for path is 2. So for the first vertices, the coloring of V1 is 1 and the coloring of second vertices is 2. Likewise, for the third vertices 1, again sequentially it goes on 1, 2, 1, 2 like that. So finally in last vertices, coloring of Vn plus 1, it is either 1 or 2. According to the odd number of vertices and even number of vertices, we have the last vertices as either 1 or 2. Suppose if I am merging the first and last vertices, that means see your coloring of V1 and coloring of Vn plus 1, that merging of vertices V1 and Vn plus 1, then the chromatic number of the cycle we predict. So the chromatic number of Cn and the chromatic number of the path Pn plus 1 is 2. So this is a algorithm type method. So we can exit from that. So if the chromatic, the number of cycle and the chromatic number of the path is equal to 2, then we have to exit. Then suppose if the coloring of the first vertices and the coloring of the last vertices is not equal, then merging the vertices of V1 and Vn plus 1 and now allocating a new color, say 3. Now I am going to allocate the color 3 for when I'm merging the first vertices and last vertices. So to the merged vertex V1. Then we can say that the chromatic number of Cn and the chromatic number of Pn plus 1 equal to, we will give the color 3. Likewise, we are giving the heuristic method. This is one of the technique which we are using in a chromatic coloring, chromatic number. So likewise, we can extend this technique for your R dynamic coloring, or if you are going for the labeling also, you can use this method, heuristic method, one of the technique we can, which is very easy to solve, get the solution for this. So likewise, now I am giving the chromatic coloring and chromatic number of middle graph of a cycle. I am going to tell some heuristic method. In first step, I am considering the middle graph of a path, that is M Pn plus 1, because next I am going to find the chromatic number for middle graph of path, that is C of V1, we will get the color 1, and C of E1 dash. When we are, you all know about the middle graph of a path. So we have to subdivide each edge by a new vertex. So we will name that new vertex as E1 dash. So then the coloring of E1 dash is 2. Then the next vertex C of V2 is 3. Sorry for the interruption. Coloring of En dash, we will give the color 1. And coloring of En plus 1, we are giving the color 2, or C of coloring of En dash, we will give the color 3. So likewise, we are giving the color sequentially. So in next step, the coloring of N plus 1, that means the last vertex, if the color is 1, then merging the vertices of the first vertex and the last vertex, the results of the chromatic color of middle graph of Cn we will get. That means that the chromatic number of middle graph of the cycle and the chromatic number of middle graph of the path will be 3. Then we have to exit from that. So the result we have predict that the middle graph of the cycle and the middle graph of the path is 3. Then we have to go for the next step. That means that the coloring of Vn plus 1 is 2. Suppose the coloring of the last vertex is 2. Then we have to recolor the previous vertex, that is C of Vn minus 1 by 2 and C of En minus 1 dash by 1 and coloring of En dash equal to 2. So I will share after the session, I will share my paper. You can see the technique for your reference. So it is one of the very interesting as well as a very easy techniques to solve, to predict the solution. So then merging of vertices of V1 and Vn plus 1, the chromatic number of middle graph is 3. Then we have to go for the next step for, suppose if the last vertex is colored 3, then we have to recolor the previous vertices with C of En dash. That means coloring of En dash by 3 and the coloring of Vn plus 1 by 1. So we have to recolor according to the last vertices color. Then the merging of vertices V1 and Vn plus 1 gives the results. That is the chromatic number of middle graph of Cn and the chromatic number of the middle graph of path is 3. So likewise, we have to give the proper coloring. We can apply this heuristic convergence to the R coloring, then equitable coloring. Then we can use this approach in B coloring. But I have used this approach only in R dynamic coloring. So I will give the paper for your reference to use this approach in your research work also. Thank you, Professor.
Okay, thank you very much for Mrs. Mohana Priya.
I think if the slide is there, then it will be easy to understand the concept. But unfortunately, due to my busy schedule, I cannot present the slide. So after the session, I will give you the paper for your reference.
Okay.
So if you have any doubt, you can feel free to ask me whenever you have this this method. Whenever you want the method to approach in your paper, you can ask me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We are waiting for the paper, Mrs. Mohana Priya. Okay, for the audience, is there any question about the heuristic approach in improving chromatics number and chromatics coloring? Yes? Any question?
Professor, this is a new concept which we are applied in our coloring, because in many graph, other diverse fields of graph theory, they have applied. But in first time, along with Johan Koch, we have introduced this concept, heuristic approach technique.
Mohana.
Yes, Professor.
Yeah, could I just share?
Yes, I will give the paper.
What I'm thinking in proving theorem, normally we deal with at least two kind of proving.
Yes.
First
yes,
one
Professor.
is analytic,
Yes,
and the second
Professor.
one is qualitative.
Yes.
Qualitative approach and analytical approach.
Yes.
Analytical approach, normally we use inductive or deductive.
Yes.
And qualitative approach, normally we use a direct proof, as well as secondly, we normally use a contradiction approach. When you say a heuristic approach, it is it is part of qualitative or analytic approach.
It is an analytic approach,
it is
Professor. Yes, after this proof is an analytic technique. By converging these type of methods, by converging, so we can have an algorithm. We usually some of the scholars are using in algorithm. After that, they are giving the analytic proof. So likewise, we can use this heuristic approach also for analytic solution.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, this is quite interesting, because I just hear the approach of using. Normally, we
this approach from path, from the structure of path, it converges to the structure of cycle by merging the two vertices. So according to that merging, we have to recolor those other vertices. We are recoloring the other vertices according to our merge. So the result will be same for that. So we have some cycle related graphs. We have applied this heuristic approach, Professor.
And in your paper, have you tested computationally how good it is compared with greedy algorithm, for example?
Actually, I have proved, as usual, we have proved as usual technique, we have proved our theorems. After that, we just plan to have this approach, this technique, whether it is applicable for our colorings, we have planned, Professor. So likewise, we have merged this vertices and we have recolored. Then the result, obviously, we got this technique. So it is quite interesting too. I will send the paper, Professor.
I'm looking forward to having this paper.
Oh, sure, Professor, sure.
If it is applicable to any graph, then maybe we can
naturally. Actually, we have found this heuristic approach only for chromatic coloring. Now we are planned to go for dynamic chromatic number also.
Yeah, who knows? In the future, we can extend that.
Yes, Professor. I have that idea also.
My research student, I believe, ready. Maybe
sure,
also can use it for the regularity, redo, and the other.
Because we will prove by upper bounds and lower bounds we are using the technique. But we can use this type of technique also in our proof. Analytically, we can prove this
if
technique.
you consider this one is analytical proof, so do you need a lower bound or upper bound to predict the chromatic number? Or,
no, Professor, no.
Heuristic?
No, I didn't check about the upper bound and lower bound for this technique. But we will check it in when we go for R dynamic, we will check the upper bound because already we have taken the some of the results in R dynamic. So we can have it. In future, we will plan for this. We will rewrite this heuristic method.
So this research just arise from your student or already?
No, Professor. This is a technique which I have used in my thesis. But after now only they have entered into the research. So for getting clear picture about the R dynamic coloring, after that I like to extend my work to the students.
Okay.
So still it is new for my students also.
Yeah.
This is a first thing I'm sharing in with our work.
I believe our student can do faster and harder.
Yes, of course, Professor. Our students are very energetic. They are ready. Yes, Professor. Even I didn't present this paper also. After my Viva was examination, I didn't share this approach to it. Because I didn't work after that, because now only I'm start working in R dynamic coloring. So we have to extend.
Can I talk in Indonesia to strengthen your message to our student? Yeah, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
Yes, Professor. Of course, you can.
Jadi Mohana ini menemukan cara baru untuk membuktikan. Ya, untuk membuktikan sebuah pencarian chromatic number. Namanya heuristic proof. Nah, mungkin ini bisa dipakai nanti karena kita kan hampir semuanya melakukan riset dalam bidang kromatik. Hanya kromatik lokal, apa kromatik irregularity. Nah, kalau ini bisa, nah mungkin seperti Bu Ika, Bu Arika bisa menggunakan cara ini. Sementara ini kan saya kira walaupun Faisal selama ini kan menggunakan analitik biasa, mengandalkan kemampuan aljabar dan seterusnya. Dan dia menggunakan heuristik. Heuristik itu yang diturunkan dari heuristic algorithm. Mohana, can I ask something to you again?
Yes, Professor.
Yeah. Is there any connection between heuristic proof technique with heuristic algorithm that we recognize so far?
Professor, I didn't get you, Professor.
We know about heuristic algorithm.
Yes.
Yeah, in computer science, we sometimes use it to develop.
Yes, they are using in all diverse fields of other research also, Professor. They are using that approach.
Is there any connection, your heuristic approach for proving the theorem in combinatoric with heuristic algorithm?
Yes, there is a study in a combinatorics regarding the heuristic approach. Yes, Professor. There are some papers for in that heuristic.
Okay. Very good.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Venkat,
Yes,
you're still with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same approach like algorithm, the heuristic approach, we can use to prove our, for example, if you take the middle graph of path and then take the R dynamic number, we can adopt the heuristic approach to prove our theorems.
Yes, yes.
Instead of the normal proof technique, we can use the heuristic also.
Okay. Very
It's
nice.
different way.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mohana. Thank you.
Thank you,
And back to
Professor. Thank you so
our
much.
master of ceremony, Obi, please.
Okay. Thank you very much for Mrs. Mohana. Once again, I would like to ask all of the participants here, is there any question? No more question? Okay, because there is no question for Mrs. Mohana and also Mr. Venkat, I'm sure that all of the participants here are looking forward to receive, to get the paper from you. Thank you very much. That is nice talk from Mr. Venkata and also Mrs. Mohana Priya. For the next session will be led by Mrs. Rafyantika Megahnia Prihandini. For Mrs. Rafyantika, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for Mrs. Robiatul Adawiyah. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all are still excited about participating in this joint workshop University of Jember and Kongunadu Art and Science College India. Okay, in this program, we have three speakers. There are Prof. Dr. Andas Davik, MSc PhD, Mrs. Ika Hesti Agustin, and Dr. Arika Indah Kristiana. Okay, for the first speaker is Professor Dr. Andas Davik, MSc PhD. Professor Dr. Andas Davik, MSc PhD. He is a lecturer in the Mathematics Education Department, University of Jember, Indonesia, and he was included in the 50 best researchers by Sinta Award. Okay, for the first presentation will be delivered by Prof. Dr. Andas Davik, MSc PhD. For Professor Davik, time is yours.
Thank you, Rafi. I would like to present a little bit different apart from coloring and labeling sites. Actually, I ever introduced this one in front of Venkat when Venkat visit us. The title is The Study of Degree Diameter Problem. It is including in in my thesis. My thesis consists of two parts. The first part is labeling, and the second part is degree diameter problem. I haven't introduced this one to my student because it is a bit harder than a graph labeling study. Actually, what is the motivation of this talk? Network now has become important in all aspects of modern society. Communication, transportation, social network, as well as goods distribution, delivery, design system, and everything. So the research objective is proof the non-existence of direct graph, directed graph. So this one is a bit different with our topic so far for the research group in combinatorics. Normally, we study about the undirected graph, but in this case, we will start for my student for studying directed graph, which is close to the more and so lower the upper bound. And the second, what men focus to for this kind of research study is how to construct a large directed graph and so incidentally obtain a better lower bound. This is our case. So this is the definition. Hopefully my student also will take this word benefit, because I never also introduced the definition of directed graph in a class. A directed graph called digraph is a pair of set Fiji. Instead of having age normally denoted by E, yeah, but we use A. Here is what stand for arch. AG, where Fiji is infinite non-empty set of distinct element called vertices, of course, and arc is a set of ordered pairs UV called arcs of distinct vertices. So look at in this what example. So if we have a loop, there is a out degree and there is in degree. So out degree is the degree is the arc of taken out from the vertices, and for the in degree is the arc is taken in of the vertices. And we have this kind of notation. There is order, distance, and also eccentricity, diameter, also out neighbors, in neighbor, and etc. Yeah, okay. What is our problem? This is the well-known problem. So I believe straightforwardly you can easily find in the Google if you type NDK problem. NDK problem stand for degree diameter problem, which was initiated by Professor Merka Miller and also continues right now by Professor Joseph Siran. Also, there are some other Professor Yuching as well from Australia. Professor Joe, Associate Professor Joe Ryan also study about this one. Even we have a survey, a dynamic survey of NDK problem. What is the NDK problem? For given numbers of D and K, D is a degree. So if you have a graph, of course you have a degree. Degree is a number of edges connecting with a certain vertex. And you have a K. K is a diameter. Diameter is the longest eccentricity. So for a given numbers D and K, construct digraph of maximum out degree D and diameter less than equal K with the largest possible number of vertices. If we have this certain graph, of course, we can enlarge the topology network, for example, in the certain offices. We can add the computers. We can have more computer number include, but we still keep the diameter. The diameter, of course, the shortest distance of a path. And unfortunately, in this case, the general upper bound on the order of NDK of digraph is the Morban. The Morban defined in the following. The order of Morban is NDK equal D to the power of K plus 1 minus 1 over D minus 1 FD greater than 1. This is, of course, a complete diagram. And equal to K plus 1 if D equal 1. Exactly, it is a cycle of graph. So when a graph which is attaining the more bound is actually consists of two graphs. That's the first one is a cycle, directed cycle, and the second one is a complete diagram. If NDK equal MDK, the diagram is called a Moore diagram. So Moore diagram is what the largest what diagram so far, with this satisfying this property. So when d equal 1, I said to you, dialectic cycle of length k plus 1, when k equal 1 is complete diagram of order d plus 1. So there are the old theorem, this one, there are no more diagram of degree d greater than equal to and diameter k equal greater than equal to. That is the challenge to us to finding this one. There are a lot of computer effort, computer search, using a genetic algorithm, heuristic algorithm to search whether there exists more diagram apart of two diagram that we presented in this presentation. So this is the condition. This is a long story. Until now, it is not solvable yet. So for diameter k equal 1, of course, more bound. We already said to you for k equal to n s. So this is the gap between the the existing graph that we have so far and the unknown graph. So far, for the best lower bound, yeah, this is the summary of best lower bound of Moore diagram. For d equal to and k is the diameter, don't forget, k greater than equal 4 and the k greater than equal 4, 25 times 2k minus 4. For example, if you want to develop a graph of a degree, for example, 2 and diameter 4, so you can easily calculate the order. The order is 25 times 2, 4 minus 4. So that's a 25. This one is obtained by using line diagram on Allegri diagram. Line diagram, you can see right now, line diagram, if you have a graph and you consider the edges as a vertex and the conic, the vertex from the representation of the edges, and that's the line diagram. Might be in the future we can label a line diagram. So the source, the base diagram is any graph. So not right now. Normally right now we just deal with the special graph, but maybe it is very interesting to see the other aspect of graph. For the remaining value of d and k, this obtaining from Kautz diagram. So there is a lot of things. So this is Allegri diagram. So you can see the participant. When I see EL, element of G, 25, 2, 4, 25 is the order, number of vertices. You can count this one, number of vertices 25. So 2 is the out degree. The out degree is 2. Yeah, every vertex has out degree, a degree, out degree, this one, yeah, out degree. Everything is out degree 2. And 4 is a diameter. It's a diameter. The problem now, if we have 26, can we still have the diameter is 4? That is a very good question that we couldn't solve it so far. Because if we can solve this one, we can still keep the diameter is shorter, then we can develop any network topology. So network topology can be used in for example, in the transportation system, and the airline traffic, for example, train traffic and everything. So if we can add more order and then we still skip the shorter diameter, that is the good thing that we can have in this research area. So this one is a gap, yeah, for the diameter 2. So we are talking about degree 2. For k equal to 6 already done, no gap. For k equal 3, 12, no gap. For k equal 4 itself, for the just single degree equal to, we haven't solved it yet. potential gap, potential larger order we have, but we couldn't find it. So we have a lower bound 25, we have upper bound 20. There is a missing diagram here. So this guys is very, very hard to solve it. Even using a very large computer machine, we couldn't find the graph such as they have a diameter k equal 4 and a degree equal 2. So this one, the axis, the potential larger orders so far. There is a huge gap. If we have continue for k equal 5, k equal 6, there is a huge gap. So this is a potential research as well for the future research. Last time we have two students, he is Gembong and Iksan dealing with this one, and then we already published in the good journal in the computer. Also have a good publication as well. I have already published a journal regarding to this degree diameter problem 2009. So research method now. This is the very important strategy how to deal with degree diameter problem. We need to construct a large directed graph, and so it incidentally obtain better lower bound. So how do we construct a larger directed graph? Of course, we need to use a construction technique. But instead of constructing a large directed graph, normally it is very hard to do. Even we deal with the computer machine, mathematically, normally use a qualitative approach. We prove the non-existence of directed graph of order close to the more bound, and so lower the upper bound. This is a mathematical side. Normally we use it. We are happy to deal with this one because we just use inductive or deductive, qualitative, direct proof and contradiction to prove the non-existence. If we can prove the non-existent, then we can lower the upper bound. If we can use the construction technique and then found the new large graph, and then we can up the lower bound. So in such way, the gap is getting lower and lower. So how is this one? We use a technique that we call a notion, a repeat technique. It is a very long story using this one. It is presented in the survey belong to the America Miller's dynamic book. You can find it in the internet easily. Survey of more diagram. We use a repeat technique. I don't want to go into a little bit further about this one. So, but I just gave a brief description how the repeat technique to prove the non-existence of the large diagram close to more bound, just using the layered diagram. So when you see here what the graph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3, and then 3 goes to 1 again. And then just like automorphism, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you have this guys of graph, and then you just describe draw the layer diagram from starting from 1 goes to 2 goes to 4. So the out degree of this graph is 2 because here is 1 to 4, and a little bit further. So then we can have such kind of this kind of a qualitative representation of graph. So look at in here. There is a dance of vertices here. We couldn't see, of course, but if we draw qualitatively, I believe we can see that there are a lot of more vertices, in that. That's we call a repeat technique. And finally, by using repeat technique, we have some a lot of research about this one. That's the last presentation. This one, the construction technique. For the second strategy, for the first strategy to prove the non-existence of the large diagram, we use a repeat technique. For for constructing the large diagram by using constructed technique, There are a lot of choices here. Algebraic specification. We have generalized de Bruijn diagram, generalized code diagram, and for the expansion method, generalized de Bruijn diagram on alphabet, generalized codes diagram on alphabet, also line diagram, partial line diagram. There is also voltage assignment. Yeah, voltage assignment, I can show you just this one. Yeah, okay. This one is line diagram and the Bruijn and the voltage assignment. Yes, this one, a voltage assignment. Look at this one. From base diagram, we have base diagram of two vertices. We have a loop here, yes, and also we have two arch here, two multiple arch. From this base, by using a modulo 5, and then finally we can blow up the diagram, and we have a diagram of order 8. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, order 10s with all odd degree 2. So I'm thinking that in the future, why not we just do a labeling on the Bruijn diagram, on voltage assignment diagram, or codes diagram, and also line diagram, and that kind of thing. Also, we can do a coloring of this guy of this kind of graph. Instead of colors, a special family of graph of, for example, star and also complete diagram and easy. So maybe in the future, who knows, we can, because there are undirected version of voltage assignment technique, expansion technique, the Bruijn diagram, codes diagram, are part of a directed graph. I believe that's it from me. This is just a trigger in this brainstorming or focus group discussion. Maybe in the future we can share what offlinely, because sometimes online the time limited and time restriction is we have. Thank you very much, Raffiantika, moderator. I get back to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Dr. Andes Davik, MSc, PhD, for giving such informative and interactive presentation, especially about the study of the grid diameter problem. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, please. Okay, now we come to question and answer session. I would like to have 3 questions maybe from the participant, please. No one?
I'm just thinking about this one. Yeah.
Yes.
Let me share again about the this yeah, my slide. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking from the just this morning. Can we have a labeling or coloring of this graph? So the base is any graph, and we blow up this base graph by using this one is modulo, yeah, modulo 5, modulo 6, or modulo n. So then the order of graph could be reaching n order. So it is also unlimited graph, yeah. But I'm thinking, if we can see this one, there are a lot of things that we can do in the future, apart from colors or doing coloring or doing labeling on special graph for undirected or directed graph. Then we can do in any case for the construction technique resulting of graph. So what do you think? Maybe Faisal, what do you think? What do you think?
Yes, thank you very much for Professor Davik.
Yeah.
I think it is a very nice, interesting new method. Yeah, I think maybe the the challenge. How do we? I have just just read some paper. In that paper, it is said that how can we maybe we can apply it in many parameters of graph such as coloring and labeling also, especially for irregularity. So the question is how we can add edges or vertices, edges.
Okay.
From the old graph, so that we can preserve the maybe the chromatic number of that graph.
Yeah. That's very good.
Jadi jadi bahasa Indonesianya. Jadi bagaimana kita mengapa namanya?
Bahasa Indonesia beda-beda
kita menambahkan di paper itu saya baca, jadi dia itu membahas kita menambahkan titik ke graf itu, seberapa banyak kita bisa tambahkan tapi kita bisa mempertahankan, misalkan nilai chromatic number-nya 5 tetap 5 begitu.
Definitely. So look at this one here. Look at this one. This one.
I think it is related. It is related.
Visible.
In this in this topic.
Yeah.
Saya lihat it is preserve the number of degree and the number of
degree
and
the degree and diameter of course already preserved because it is already guaranteed by this kind of what the method, the construction technique already preserves the degree and diameter as well. So don't worry about this one. For example, Mohana here, are you still with us? So if we have a base diagram, a base diagram of order 3, for example, here, the degree is 2. Degree here is out degree. So we are talking about diregular graph, degree, out, in, out is equal. And the diameter is 1. From this graph, we can blow up this graph, which as using voltage assignment, using Kautz diagram, using line diagram, we can have a new resulting diagram, of course, with the bigger order of the previous base diagram. So again, and then again we line diagram this one, we have this one. We line diagram this one, we have a lot of things, we have a bigger order, of course. Yeah. So I believe the beautifulness and the expansionness of this kind of course also preserved in this graph. But we never try to color this one. We never try to label this one because the dynamical of the order is a bit different with the order that we can extend from the spatial graph. Yeah, because to extend this graph, we use a technique. But for spatial family, we do not use a technique. We just extend. For example, we have part of order 5. We extend +1 and then part of order 6. +2, part of order 7. So we just extend, we just blow up by just normally by hand writing or hand drawing, or for example. But in here, no, we use a construction technique. The problem now, how to preserve it. Either preserve a chromatic number, preserve the smaller what is dominating sets of domination number, or preserve the local chromatic number on everything. That's might be very nice in the future to talk. Yeah. Okay. Back to Mohana or whatever here. Yeah. Ya, silakan Rafi. Yes. Okay. Mohana, are you still with us?
No, sir. There is no Mrs. Mohana.
Emas sudah itu. Apa nih? Yes. Okay, keep going. Yes, sudah. Aparna? So, anyone from India still with us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm Gomati here.
Okay, thank you, Gomati. I'm just worried. I'm just talking with my student. Okay.
No. You are here.
Yeah. I saw Gomati, Bharani, Rituka, Aparna. So you
Tika,
got my point, yeah? You got my point, yeah?
Rohini.
Yeah. Normally, Gomati, I believe you are working on coloring, yeah? What Gomati? What was your topic?
Yeah, on the art dynamic coloring, sir.
Yeah, R dynamic coloring. This is what
Art
similar.
dynamics.
So when you do
Oh,
research on R dynamic coloring, normally you start
mm,
finding the chromatic, the R dynamic chromatic for a special family of graph, isn't it? Yeah. But
okay. Yeah.
my idea now, how can we start with using a graph which is what deriving from the construction technique? For example, voltage assignment technique, line diagram technique, and the Boolean diagram technique, and everything. So that's my point now. Yeah, because we
Oh,
have a
okay.
lot of things that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let me try on that.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your instructions, sir.
Yeah. Raja Lakshmi, are you here? Nandini? Kirufika? Gauri? Okay, just I give it back to master of ceremony. Okay. Silakan, teruskan dah. Ya. Raffi, unmute.
Now we are going to the fourth presentation. The fourth presentation will be delivered by Dr. Arika Indah Kristiana. Arika Indah Kristiana is a lecturer in the Mathematics Education Department, University of Jember, Indonesia. Mrs. Arika Indah Kristiana, principal area is graph theory. She is interested in the local irregular vertex coloring of graph. Okay, now allow me to welcome the fourth speaker, Her Excellency Mrs. Arika Indah Kristiana, to deliver her presentation. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Arika Indah Kristiana.
Oke, terima kasih. Thank you,
Okay.
Miss Raffi. Good morning for student Kongunadu and good afternoon for member of SIGAN.
Mana fotonya ini? Nggak ada. Good, very good. Yeah. Rika, is there any problem?
Bentar, Pak. Anis minta tolong share screen-nya.
Sudah bisa, Bu.
Warika sudah co-host kok. Dimatikan dulu PowerPoint-nya, dihidupkan lagi.
Ada di laptop satunya, Pak.
Itu apa itu yang mau di screen?
PPT.
Ya enggak apa-apa, dimatikan dulu baru dihidupkan lagi. Apa Bu Ika dulu? Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. Good. I already know it. Yeah.
A local irregularity vertex coloring of graph. The definition suppose L, the function L, Vg to 1, 2 until K is called vertex irregularity K labeling, and the function W Vg to natural number where W sigma V sigma for LV. L is called local irregularity vertex coloring if the first is optimum L is minimum for maximum LE. LA is vertex irregularity labeling. The second for every UV in it graph W not equal to WV. The chromatic number local irregular denoted by Ciolis G is minimum of cardinality local irregularity vertex coloring. Next. This is we have the one lemma and two proposition. The lemma is let G a simple and connected graph. This is chromatic for chromatic number local irregularity bigger equal to from chromatic number of G. Two proposition by one let's be G two with its two vertices adjacent have a different degree of the vertex, then the optimum for LE is 1. But two vertices same degree, so optimal LE is bigger equal to 2. Next. How the procedure of local irregularity vertex coloring. The first is labeling. In labeling, we have to label a vertex. This is a label irregular by 1, 1, 2, 1. The second for coloring, we have to face. The first is determine what of vertex is color. The second check definition of second definition. The last is we have chromatic local irregularity vertex coloring. Ciolis is cardinality of color set. Next. This is a sample of chromatic number local irregular for PET graph. With order true, this is have 2. by 1 and 2. Order 3 is the same as 2, 1, 2. But path with order 6, this is 3, 1, 2, 3. For order of 11, this is not 2 but 3, 1, 4, 2. Next. This is friendship graph. Chromatic local is 3, 2, 3, and 18. Next. Example for theorem. This is we have one theorem. Let's be a triangular book graph for n bigger equal to 3. Chromatic local is 3. How to prove? Procedure of proof, we have four step. The first is determine cardinality of graph. The second of determine of optimum label regular, and the third show the lower bound with lemma, and the last is show the upper bound with function of labeling and coloring. Next. The example for the proof, the one is cardinality. The second is this is for optimum labeling. Next. The lower bound, we have to use the lemma. This is the example for chromatic number triangular book is 3. So chromatic local is the proof. The upper bound we have function of labeling and coloring. We have there are 3 articles about this. Local irregular vertex coloring in journal Discrete Mathematics. The second on the chromatic number local irregular, Journal of Physics, and local irregularity vertex coloring of graph in journal ICCIT. That is a finish my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Arika ma'am. Thank you. Nice presentation.
Okay, thank you very much for Mrs. Arika Indah Kristiana for giving such informative and interesting presentation. Before we go to the last presentation, maybe any question for Mrs. Arika Indah Kristiana, maybe from the participant. Okay.
Can I add something?
Oh yeah. You
My
can.
name is Anis. I asked on Mrs. Arika's slide, there is on this part, we can see that the color is 3, right?
Right.
If the chromatic color of PET, we know that the color is 2.
Yes.
Can I ask the lower bound of local irregularity strength?
We must apa we must to a vertex for apa bermasalah vertex for
Okay, Mrs. Arika, can you answer a question maybe? Please.
Slide.
Oh, slide. Anis, can you share screen? The slide maybe? Anis.
we must to vertex a problem vertex.
This one, Miss.
No. Example.
The example, Anis.
This one.
Yes.
Yeah. For C, this is a 3, 1, 2, 3. If we have we give 2 chromatic for 2, this is there are problem in vertex desert or the problem in vertex the fourth in this we have we must to take a vertex in a problem in chromatic problem for second definition. In second definition for U and V, this is not equal. If we have chromatic local is 2, this is not this is apa? Pasti dia sama dengan gitu loh.
So the color is 3.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, doctor. There is one question from Rohini. Can I say? This is the question. Could you explain how irregularity condition used in this coloring? irregularity in graph based on degrees of vertices. Dr. Arika?
Wait, irregularity free. Free in here we have labeling for free. Bebas. Jadi apapun.
Every graph can we can find the irregularity of the graph for every graph maybe.
Not
Every graph.
simple and connected.
Oh.
Ya, mungkin yang didasarkan pada Bu Arika, pada degree-nya. Jadi karakteristiknya pada degree-nya.
Itu kan di itu Bu, di proposisi itu loh.
Oh ya.
Gini Bu Ika.
Maybe in the slide there are any a proposition maybe? Proposition, Anis?
Yes.
Nah, proposition.
With two vertex adjacent, so optimum is 1. But the same degree, optimum is bigger.
Mrs. Arika, I ask you, when the two vertices adjacent, but but it has different the same degree, how is the optimal value? If there is a two vertices adjacent but have a same degree.
Dua titiknya itu berbeda.
Jika ada dua, Bu, jika ada dua titik, bagaimana jika ada dua titik yang bertetangga, tapi nyatanya mereka memiliki derajat yang sama? Apa yang terjadi?
Nah, kalau derajatnya yang sama, dia pasti lebih dari 1, lebih dari 2.
Gitu.
Yang berdekatan.
Berdekatan istilahnya mungkin pakai istilah dalam graf saja, Bu.
Adjacent.
Oh, adjacent ya.
Okay, Mrs. Rohini, are you still here? Rohini?
I believe someone still here.
Yeah, Rohini.
So please again keep talking in English.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mohana also already back. Are you still here, Mohana?
Yes, Professor, I'm I'm back to the workshop.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Professor, I'm in on emergencies. That's why I went.
No problem. What I'm thinking, if someone
No, Professor, I'm back. I'm back now. I'm in workshop now. Yes.
Okay, so Arika already done? Finish?
Finish.
Okay, yeah.
Finish.
Okay, give it back to Rafi, yeah?
Okay. I think this topic is very interesting. So we are going to the last presentation, and the last presentation will be delivered by Mrs. Ika Hesti Agustin. She is a lecturer in the mathematics at the Department of Mathematics and Natural Science, University of Jember, Indonesia. And she was included in the 500 best researchers in the Sinta Award. Now, allow me to welcome the last speaker, Her Excellency Mrs. Ika Hesti Agustin, to deliver her presentation. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Ika Hesti Agustin. Time is yours.
Thank you, Mrs. Rafiantika. I'm Ika Hesti Agustin. At this time, I will talk about irregular reflexive labeling on graph. And before it, good afternoon to everyone. I will talk about irregular reflexive labeling on graph. This is some definition about irregular reflexive. We will start on total K irregular labeling. So all graphs in this talk are finite, simple, and connected. A K labeling assign numbers from 1 to up to K to the elements of graph. Let K be a natural number, a function from the union of vertex set and edge set to natural number 1, 2, 3 up to K. It's called total K irregular labeling. And then a total labeling fee. Yes. A total labeling fee from vertex set union edge set to 1, 2, 3 up to K is called vertex irregular total K labeling of graph G if the vertex weight, the all vertex weight is distinct for every two different vertices. The minimum K for which graph G has a vertex irregular total K labeling, it's called total vertex irregularity strength, denoted by GVS of G. And then Bacha et al. Find the lower bound and upper bound from total vertex irregularity strength of graph G. This is the lower bound. N plus the minimum delta over by delta plus 1 ceiling less than and equal GVS of G less than and equal N plus delta minus 2 minimum delta plus 1. And then Ryan et al. Give the definition of reflexive vertex strength is the total K labeling is a function from the edge set to the first natural number Ka and a function Fv from the vertex set to the non-negative even number up to 2Kv where K is the maximum Ka, 2Kv. And then a vertex irregular reflexive K labeling of the graph G is the total K labeling if for every two different vertices X and X dash of G is different. So the two different vertices, the weight of two different vertices is distinct. The minimum K for graph G has a vertex irregular reflexive K labeling. It's called the reflexive vertex strength of the graph G. And then this is the lemma by Tana et al. In 2018. This is for find the lower bound. This is the correlate by Tana et al. Let G be an R irregular graph of order P, then RYSG is the ceiling of P plus R minus 1 over to R plus 1 if P equal 0 and and then the ceiling of P plus R over to R plus 1 if P equal 2, 2 and 3 modulo 4. P is the number of vertices in graph G and R is regular graph. The degree of its vertex in G. This is the definition of reflexive edge strength From Martin Bacha, total K labeling define a function from its set to the natural number up to Ke, and the vertex set to the non-negative integer from 0 to up to 2 kV, where K is the maximum Ka, 2 kV. And each irregular reflexive K labeling of the graph G is the total K labeling if for every two different edges have the different wake. This is the wake. This is the wake of on each edge is the label of vertices which incident with the edges, and the plus the label of edges. The minimum K for a graph G admitting an edge irregular reflexive K labeling is called the reflexive edge strength, denoted by RISG. This is the lower bound, also introduced by Martin Bacha, ceiling the number of edges on G over by 3 if the number of vertices in G not equal 2 and 3 modulo 6, and then the number of edges, ceiling the number of edges over by 3 plus 1 if the number of edges is equal to and then 3 modulo 6. And then Ika, Agustin et al. Developed the new definition of reflexive edge strength for each subset from G. The weight of subset is given by the sum of label of vertices in each and the sum of label of edges in each. So if there is exists a partition of G, every subgroup in the partition, HI is isomorphic. Jadi all HI are isomorphics. And then the irregular reflexive total K labeling, it's called an H irregular reflexive K labeling of the graph G if every two different subgraphs have a different wake. Maybe it's this is the same with the definition on its and also vertex, but in this case we consent to the its is a subgraph of G. We determine the lower bound of the reflexive edge strength of graph G. This is the lower bound ceiling of the number of edges on edge plus the number of edges of in graph G minus 1 over 2 by the number of vertex in edge plus the number of edges in edge. This is the lower bound. This is some previous result for the previous research. This is the lower bound. This is the lower bound for RVS. This is the lower bound for any graph for any graph. RVS of graph G is the ceiling of the number P, the number of vertices in G plus the minimum degree minus 1 over by the maximum degree plus 1. And the corollary from the lower bound above, we give the RVSG is the ceiling P plus minimum delta minus 1 over by maximum degree plus 1 plus 1. This is the condition if P plus minimum delta minus 1 is equal K times delta plus 1, where K is odd integer. This is a previous research from Agustin et al. Let G be a graph of order n and contains L pendant vertex. If L greater than n equal n min L, the reflexive vertex strength is like this formula. And then this is reflexive vertex strength on some family graphs. This is prism, wheel, fan, basket, cycle, friendship, sunlight, helm, and then subdivided star, broom, complete, anti-prism, ladder, complete bipartite, double wheel, and book. This is a reflexive edge strength. This is edge on some family graphs, prism, wheel, fun, basket, cycle, friendship, ladder, triangular ladder, PM times C3, and PM O dot P2, and PM O dot, this is Corona product. C3, double star. I saw this, Mr. Venkata slide is called B-star. B-star, ya tadi ya. Double star is B-star. Broom graph and generalized subdivided star. This is corollary from the reflexive edge strength like this. Corollary from the lower bound. And then this is the previous result for reflexive edge strength. Ladder, triangular ladder with its with subgraph C4, triangular ladder with subgraph C3, and then circle, and then flower graph with its C3, and then circle CT, V, N, and then the subgraph is CT. This is open problem. Maybe we will join research or join paper. This is we have two open problem. Determine the upper bound of the reflexive vertex strength of any graph, and then to find the gap between lower bound and upper bound. And continue determine the exact value for reflexive vertex strength of any special of other special graph. And then determine the construction of the reflexive vertex strength of any regular graph, planar graph, or some graph operation. This is we have also two open problems. Determine the exact value of regular graphs, almost regular graphs, and then A, R, almost regular graph, and then maybe we determine the sharpest upper bound of the reflexive vertex strength. This is also it is the same, and then I have a conjecture. If for every graph G, Pn times its, this is RISG is equal ceiling the number of edges of G over by 3, and then the number of edges over by 3 plus 1 if the number of edges is equal to 3 modulo 6. This is a conjecture. And then I have the second conjecture. If it's is Cn a subgraph of G, circle with the linkage is H, and for every natural number m greater than and equal to, then its s are like this. This is a still conjecture. And then I have the third conjecture. Let H is still Cn, but the circle Cn with a linkage is K. K is a subgraph of Cn, and for every natural number m greater than and equal to, then we have R its s like this. This is the third conjecture. And then maybe this is the illustration of labeling and C3 and C5. This is the illustration of labeling on C4 and C6. The all vertices in here give a label from 0 to up to this is the non-negative even number, and then the age we give label from natural number. So we consent to this picture. This is the weight of vertex. This vertex is 0 plus 2 and then plus 1. It's equal 3. And then this one is 2 plus 2 and then plus 1. It is equal 5. And then the third vertex is 1 plus 0 plus 1. It's equal to. And also all of vertices in this illustration are different. This is 3, this is weight is 3, 5 and 2, and this one is 3, 4, 6, 5, 2. The all of vertex weights are different. But also in here, also in C4 and C6, it is the same. The all vertex weight are different. This is the illustration labeling on K complete bipartite complete 10,2. This is a label on vertices is also non-negative natural number, non-negative even natural number. So from 0, 0, 0, 2, 2, 4, and then the age is from 1 natural number. So this is 2, this is 2. The label of this vertex is 0, and then the age is 1, 1. So we sum this as equal. It is equal to. And this one is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 24, and then 20, 29. The all of vertex weights are different. This is the illustration on its irregular reflexive labeling. This is the same for the label age, ages and vertices, but this is we consent to all of ages. To this one, to this age one, we sum the label of 0 plus 0 and then 1. It is equal 1. And for the second age is 0 plus 0 plus 2 is equal to. The blue one is the age weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11. The all of age weight are different. This is the reference. Maybe you can search in the Google or Scopus. This is my reference on irregularity reflexive labeling. Thank you, Mrs. Rafiantika. I will give to you. Mbak Bibi, Nis, bukaan moodnya, Nis.
Okay, sorry. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ika Hesti Agustin, for giving us some information about reflexive X irregular for graph. And now, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to question and answer. I'd like to have one or more question from the participant, please.
This is Mohana Priya.
Oh, yes, Mohana.
Very well.
Yeah, you can speak.
The area is very interesting too.
Yes.
Whether we can apply this labeling with the coloring, whether you have taken the result.
Sorry? Yeah, this is ongoing research, Mohana. Ika now is studying for her PhD thesis. So
Okay,
yeah, we
okay.
have submitted. We have a joint paper with Changgul as well about this one. But I'm sure that we can apply the heuristic proof technique for the future research. I'm not sure because
Yes, Professor.
yeah, this is that I'm thinking in the future. Yeah.
Okay, okay, Professor.
Yeah. Ika, can you unshare the? Can you stop share the screen? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes. Rido, do you have any question?
Okay, sir. I have one question for Mrs. Ika.
Yeah.
Okay, Mrs. Ika, could you explain the philosophy of reflexive labeling to application in daily life, maybe in science or biology, chemistry, or social science? Maybe a reflexive labeling have some application. Maybe you can give me some comment, maybe.
Okay, okay, Mr. Rido. I have read some paper, the application of reflexive reflexive vertex irregular in electricity circuit. Electricity circuit. There is a arus itu apa, Mas? In electricity circuit, there is a directed graph. There is a loop, and then in degree and out degree. In degree and out degree. Since the loop, we count the loop is 2. The degree is 2. If we have one vertex with loop, we count degree of this vertex is 2.
Yes.
This is right, Mr. Rido?
All right. Okay. Oh, okay. So you can relate it to the label in the vertex. Use even number, maybe.
Yes.
From electrical.
So if we have in degree and out degree, so we count the degree of each vertices. So the number of degree in directed graph in electricity circuit is even number, always even number. So we determine to or we if you use not a directed graph, indirected graph, so we give a label of vertices in non-negative even number.
Okay. Oh, okay. The label of the vertices use even numbers 0, 2, 4, 6,
Yeah.
8. Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
If we use directed graph, we like a usual, we count the degree of each vertex. There is a in degree, out degree, and then we count degree of each vertex, always even number. So if we use undirected graph, so we give a label from non-negative integer, from non-negative but even number. So this is the philosophy from the electricity circuit. I know that, but
Okay, enough.
I don't
Thank you,
explain
Miska.
anymore.
Thank you. It's clear for me. This application of reflexive labeling is clear. The application in daily life, maybe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rido, for the question. Maybe any question from the other participants, maybe?
Yeah, I have a
Gomati?
question. Yeah, I
Okay.
have a question. Hi, Ika, it's a very nice presentation. And can you please move the slide to page 28?
Yeah.
Ika?
Please share your screen again.
Anis.
Page 28.
8. You have a given example, figure example of cycle C3, C5.
Coba di-share lagi screen-nya.
Share screen. Share
Anis,
screen.
share screen nih.
Halaman 28.
28.
Pick 28.
Siapa yang share? Wika atau
Mrs. Ika.
mana Bu Ika?
Mrs. Ika.
Trouble maybe.
Anis, do you have Anis?
Anis,
Anis maybe.
Ika
your
slide?
microphone maybe. You click active. No. Huh?
Anis.
Wait, sir.
Sorry, Gomati. Ika
Yeah,
has
it's
a problem. Yeah.
it's okay, sir. I just have a doubt. She gave an example for total labeling. I think regular reflexive total labeling for
Yeah.
C3 and C5 it means.
Okay.
Yeah. Page 28.
28.
28.
Next.
You can
next.
type.
Yeah. Stop. Oh.
This
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, the first one,
Missing.
labeling of C3 and C5. Ika, are you there? Yeah. Second figure, you are given for total labeling or for vertex.
Sorry,
First
your
one,
pardon?
C5.
C5.
Yes.
C5.
It is
Yes.
for total labeling. You have given it for total labeling.
Halo,
Yes, total labeling.
Miss, kok nggak ada suaranya, Miss?
The first vertex you have given the weight as 3.
So okay. I'm thinking. So because
So,
there is one for the
yeah.
8 connecting 3 and 2, yeah, as well as C3, there is a label 1. But in C5,
Yeah.
there is no labels for the ages in the path. It is.
Nggak dengar ya, Miss?
Missing.
Nggak dengar suaranya, Kak.
Maybe missing label H.
I believe she missed the label. Yeah, actually,
okay.
actually it is
That is
total, I believe.
total. Okay, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, that was that's my doubt. That is whether it is 3. So then we asked how that calculated.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay, maybe any question for the other participant?
Yeah, okay. So I believe that enough for the discussion session. Now we are dealing with the other session, Rafi. So please close the this session first and then give it to me. Then, yeah.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the last session, and now I will give the next agenda to the MC for the Melissa. Okay, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Rafi and Mrs. Obi. And thanks to our great speakers today for the information and knowledge which have been given to us. May it be useful for us. Ladies and gentlemen, finally we get to the last session in this event, that is closing. Let's close this event by saying Alhamdulillah.
No, not yet, not yet. Don't close.
As the master of
Don't
ceremony, thanks to Professor David, Mr. Fenka, Mrs. Mohana, Mrs.
Melissa.
Arika, and Mrs. Ika, and all participants entirely.
Melissa,
May what we had conducted will be useful for us.
Melissa.
Melissa.
Yeah.
Please.
Melissa.
Yeah, Prof. David.
Yes.
Don't close. Don't close.
Don't close. Prof. David, we want to speak.
We give some.
Don't close, Melissa.
Not here, maybe.
Oh, Melissa can't hear, Prof. Maybe.
I can hear your voice, Prof. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will have a conclusion or concluding remark, about this joint workshop. Especially Mohana, can you give a time for having a conclusion, Mohana?
So, I'm here only.
Yeah, you're still here, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So after this workshop, we will try to list of some specific themes or topics as a part of our research interest in the future, which is potentially taken by the student for their thesis, because in our participant also we also have a fresh student from the master degree. Also we have a student candidate for a PhD student for the PhD student as well. As well as maybe in your side that you have also a student that can take our topic in the future. So after this workshop, I will list the make it the table of research of interest as well as the subtopic.
Metric relationship with labeling and coloring. We will take a metric relationship in future studies.
Yeah, definitely.
Encourage the students to do their work under the labeling as well as the coloring.
Yeah. Okay.
Better result.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you have any new student right now? We are joining our workshop right now.
No, we will have. You have told me that we will discuss about the basic things with the new students.
Okay. I understand. So
the new students.
Yes. So in the short future, maybe we can have another discussion. We will show our result from here, and then we will have executive summary of this kind of workshop as well. And then I will send it to you, which potential topic that we student can take in the future, especially for the fresh student. Yeah. Okay. Understand. Yeah. Okay. Is there any idea or request from you as well?
No, Professor, I don't have it. I think we will take this one, this workshop as a motivation to our research scholars. So it's an initial step which we have started. We have in future, we will discuss more about the research in future also.
Yes. I believe with Zoom, it's live is easier then, to interact each other from Indonesia without any what kind of fee that we should spend, for example. So secondly, we will try to label or color for such a kind of construction technique of graph. That's that I'm thinking. It is also actually I have this idea for a long time ago to assign color or label into graph which is derived from construction technique that I told to my student and to your student from construction technique, for example, De Bruyn, and also Couch diagram, and also voltage assignment technique, that we can have a graph from a base diagram, and then we can blow up the base diagram in such way we have a larger order of graph, and then we will give a color or give a label to that graph. Instead of a label and give assignment coloring for a special family of graph. So I believe it is also interesting in the future. So maybe I will include this one in the executive summary after this session as well. Yeah. Okay. Is there any idea? Another idea? Mahana?
No, Professor. In my part,
Okay.
I am very sure that we will do work under labeling and coloring. We will, after if we have got any regarding this matter, we will discuss it later in next
Okay.
meeting. We'll
Okay.
discuss about it.
Okay. And the third one, the last one, what I'm thinking also might be it is very nice in the future to involve a computational effort, computational programming, for example, to test our coloring or our labeling. Normally for Vertex labeling or Vertex coloring, using computer by writing a programming, maybe also it is feasible to do in the future. So if we can use a computer, then we can extend our cooperation with the Department of Computer Science as well. So labeling and as well as coloring, maybe we can have application of those kind of study such that our what convert Zoom not only in the mathematical side. So I believe if you can extend as well the Department of Computer Science people, then maybe it will be very useful our knowledge, our study for the social community in the wide range of the community in the future. What do you think?
Sir, you are right. Some of my scholars have started working in computational proof. Instead of giving the descriptive type proof, they have started a computational writing in their
Yes.
proof. So we will do more in computational
Yeah.
area.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. We will discuss about this in future
Yes.
about the
Yes.
computational studies.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Mohana Priya.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much, Depa. Thank you very much, Gomati. And thank you very much, Bharani and Pravena, Alesha, also Rohina, and also Nafa Nitakri. And so also there is a Kirutika and fan card, of course, is our lovely collaborator, Mahanapa also. So hopefully we can maintain our cooperation, our connection for the future, better knowledge for our student. And thank you again for joining our
Thank you,
joint
Professor.
workshop.
Really, we are very happy to have this joint workshop with the
Yeah,
University of
yeah,
Jember. Really,
yeah.
I am very much happy about the Arta and Ika for their presentation and also for all other participants from University of Jember.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
this opportunity for us to join with you. Really,
thank
we are very happy to have a research collaboration with you all.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Professor. Thank you so
And
much.
for the last, what hope that I hope that all your students already fill the Google form such that I can send the certificate to your student for
Yes.
this conference. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Professor.
Thank you very much, and I'll give it back to Melissa right now. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor David and Mrs. Mohana, and Mr. Venka, also Mrs. Arika and Mrs. Ika, and all of participants in this joint workshop. And if I guiding this event, I made mistakes or when someone here, please forgive me. And once again, thank you for all, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Foto bersama.
Maybe a video.
Could you raise your hand like this? Yeah, yeah, okay. I take a picture. Siapa yang screenshot? Yes, yeah.
Please on your video.
Oke, sudah. So, video, all of you. Video. Sudah Cek bit eh.
Pak. Satu,
Finish.
2, 3. Lagi.
Ya, halaman kedua, jangan lupa halaman kedua.
Ya, siap.
Ya, Aljabar itu janggutnya keluar Aljabar. Kayak orang India Aljabar itu.
Waduh, ya Bapak.
Aljabar kayak Sarukan. Kayak Sarukan Aljabar.
Lagi.
Hai, Nava Nitakris. How are you?
Handsome boy.
Handsome boy. How are you?
Oh, the other.
Udah.
How are you?
Oke, thank you.
Thank you.
Ya. Oke, silakan di.
Apa di bawah?
Jangan dimatikan dulu nih. Biar orang India. Kok ada gangguan? Sudah? Ya, baik, sudah. Saya ucapkan terima kasih pada kalian, terutama pada teman-teman yang sudah lulus tapi masih berpartisipasi. Saya senang sekali ternyata kalian ingat masa lalu kalian. Di situ ada Zuris Aljabar ya. Kemudian ada siapa lagi ini? Nah, kelihatannya ada Dwi ya di sini ya.
Yes, sir.
Nah, Dwi kok tambah langsing Dwi dalam foto ini ha?
Alhamdulillah.
Turun berapa kilo kamu? Ada Elsa ini, ada Elsa di sini ya. Ya, Elsa, kamu di mana ini? Di Sigan ini. Terus kemudian ada Putu Diana ya, luar biasa. Makasih Putu. Kemudian tidak ada yang lain sudah ini. Kalau yang ini baru, ini handsome boy ini. Mitra yang baru. Oke ya sudah. Terima kasih semuanya dah. Sukses selalu ya. Langsung nih.